Good morning, children. Welcome back. In the previous video, we have seen about the gravitational constant and our acceleration due to gravity. Correct? Now we will see the applications of this acceleration due to gravity and gravitational constant in our day-to-day life, in which these two people, you can see over here, the Archimedes and the Pascal, which used these bases to study and explore more new innovations which we are applying now in our day to day life. Okay, so first concept is of thrust and pressure. Okay, when a blunt pin is applied force, it does not go into the wood, whereas a sharp pin goes into the wood with same amount of force. Correct? You can see the two boxes over here, wooden boxes over there. So the first picture has a pin which has a blunt tip, and the second one it has a pointed tip. Which one will go faster? That is, the pointed one will pierce into the wood. Thus, effect of a force depends on the area of the object on which it acts. Okay, now what they have told here, when we blunt those tips of a pin, what happens? The area, that is the surface area between the box, that is wooden box, and the pin, it becomes larger. And when we point those pin, what happens? The surface area between the wood and the pin becomes smaller. Okay, so the effect of force depends on the area of object on which it acts. See, there is another example over here. Weight of the body is also a force, and it always acts in a downward direction. Correct? Observe two different position of brick on the ground. One is kept at the horizontal position and one kept at the vertical position. Both the bricks exert same amount of force on the ground because they have same weight, but two bricks exert different pressure due to different area of contact with the ground. What they have told, they exert the same amount of forces, but they do not exert the same pressure because the pressure is dependent on area of contact with the ground. I'll give you one example. We have seen this can before. Okay, so if I kept this can vertically, then the pressure exerted vertically is low. Okay, the pressure will be very less. And now if I keep it horizontally, what will happen? The pressure will be more on it because the surface area over here, the surface area is very low or very less, and when I keep it horizontally, the surface area is very large. Okay, so the pressure kept vertically and pressure kept horizontally. Okay, the pressure kept vertically and pressure kept horizontally is different. Okay, that is the different pressure due to different area of contact with the ground. A lime brick exerts less pressure on the ground, whereas the standing brick exerts more pressure on the ground. That is what we have said is, if the surface area is less, then the pressure will be low because contact is of less surface area. And now if I keep it horizontally, the pressure will be less on the ground. Okay, because the surface area is more. Therefore, pressure depends on force applied and the area over which it acts. Therefore, pressure is a force acting perpendicularly on a unit area of the object. Okay, perpendicular means what? Here is your object over here, and the force is acting very perpendicular to it. That is, you can remember the formula as pressure is equal to force upon area. What is the formula? Pressure is equal to force upon area, or P is equal to F upon A. Now pressure is a scalar quantity. Okay, it is independent of it is independent of direction. Pressure is a force per unit area. Force is a vector quantity, but still pressure is a scalar quantity because it does not have any particular direction. Okay, pressure does not have any particular direction, but force has a direction. Correct? In which direction I am applying the force. Therefore, the force is a vector quantity, but pressure does not have any direction. Therefore, it is a scalar quantity. Now, think of a point inside the liquid or gas in a tank. Pressure at that point acts in all directions, that is through 360 degrees. Therefore, pressure cannot be assigned a specific direction and hence is a scalar. They have given the example that consider one atom or one molecule of a liquid or a gas. The pressure is exerting all over the sides or all over the directions in that molecule of a liquid or a gas. So we cannot determine in which direction the pressure is going to act. So therefore the pressure is scalar quantity. At the same time, if pressure is applied on a surface, then the resulting force is a vector quantity because it has direction of effect of pressure on the surface. That is, the pressure exerts force on the walls of the container of liquid or a gas. That is, what is happening? Here is a can over there. Okay, it is filled with water or it is filled with a spray. Correct? So what is happening over here? The spray or the water content in it is allowing the pressure on the walls of this container. Correct? So when this concept comes, then the pressure becomes a vector quantity because the force exerted by this liquid is upon the direction of outside. There is a force outside. I'll give you one more example. When you buy a cold drink bottle, okay, if you shake the bottle before opening the lid, what will happen? The bubbles will come out and it will explode. Correct? So the force is acting, the pressure is generated inside the molecules of that liquid. Correct? So here the pressure exerting is on the walls of that bottle. So here it becomes a vector quantity. Okay, so now SI unit of pressure is Newton meter per second or Newton meter per second, that is known as also Pascal. Okay, Newton meter per second or Pascal. Pressure Pascal because the Pascal is a scientist name and he has invented this pressure. Pressure can also be defined in terms of thrust. Thrust is a force acting on a body perpendicular to its surface. Okay, thrust per unit area is called pressure, or you can say it as pressure is equal to thrust upon area. The thrust is the similar way to call of force. Okay, now what are the everyday observations you see on the pressure? School bags have wide straps. Do you see that school bags are having a straps like your purse, small money purse? No, the school bags have the large wide straps over here because to cover the surface area. Okay, they are covering more surface area on your shoulder so that you will have less pressure. Okay, more the surface area, less will be the pressure. So the school bags have wide strap on your shoulders. Sharp knife cuts better than the blunt knife. Again the surface area concept. Okay, tip of needle is made sharp. Pressure of the ground is more when man is walking than he is standing. Correct? Pressure on the ground is more when the man is walking because there is a force acting on the ground. Depression is much more when a man stands on the cushion than when it lies down or sits on it. Okay, because the surface area is less when it stands on the cushion, but when he sleeps on the cushion the surface area is more, so the pressure will be less. The tractors have broad tires so that there is less pressure on the ground, and the tires do not sink into the comparatively soft ground in the fields. Okay, the land over there is marshy sometimes, so there is a chances of sinking of tires. So the tractors have broad tires so that they do not sink. It is easier to walk on the soft sand if we have flat shoes rather than shoes with sharp heels, because the surface area. Okay, foundations of buildings and dams are laid broad at the bottom to decrease the pressure, correct? So that the walls or the pillars, you can see when you go in the parking area, when you go, you can see the pillars are very broad. Okay, or the foundation of the buildings are very broad, so that when it goes when there are many story building, so the pressure exerted on that foundation is less. Okay, next we have is pressure in fluids. So the substances which can flow easily are called fluids. All the liquids and gases are fluids. Like solids exert pressure due to their weight, liquids also have weight and they exert pressure. But fluid exerts pressure in all directions, downward, sideward, upwards, all direction, which I gave you example of that soda bottle or any cold drink bottle. Okay, the pressure is exerted in all directions. Now we have a concept that is buoyancy. Okay, when an object is placed in a liquid, the liquid exerts an upward force on it, that is it floats. Okay, so how does it floats on the water? So this floating is due to the upward force generated or exerted by the liquid, and this force is known as buoyancy. So it is easy to lift a stone as long as it is inside water, but feels heavy if it is lifted above the water. Just give it a try. Okay, put a stone in the water and try to lift it, and on the other hand you keep it on the ground and try to lift it, same stone. You will feel that the stone inside the water is very easy to lift. A mug of water inside the water appears lighter, but it feels heavier when lifted above the water. This is also a common experience when we go to bath. Okay, therefore the objects appear to be less heavy when submerged in liquid than that in the air. This shows that every liquid exerts an upward force on the objects immersed partially or wholly in it. It's when you can feel that something is getting lighter when something pushes you. Okay, when someone pushes that object, you feel it, you feel easy to lift it up. So that work is doing so that liquid is doing the same work. They are pushing those things. So this pushing, that is upward force, is exerted by the liquid. So the tendency of the liquid to exert an upward force on an object placed in it is called the buoyancy. Okay, I'll repeat the definition again. The tendency of a liquid to exert an upward force on an object placed in it is called the buoyancy. Okay, so now this was a concept of buoyancy. Now we can see what is buoyant force. The upward force acting on an object immersed in a liquid is called buoyant force. It is also called upthrust. Okay, it is also called upthrust. Now what are the causes of buoyant force? When a mug is inside the water, the pressure from the sides are equal and no net force is available. Correct? There is no force available to act on the mug because everything is covered with the liquid. But pressure at the bottom of the mug is more due to more depth of water and is less at the top due to less depth of water. What is happening when you immerse the mug? The distance between the uh, depth of the bucket and the up of the bucket is different. Okay, the difference in the pressure exerts net upward force called upthrust or buoyant force. The mug, usually made of plastic lighter than the water, is pushed up due to this upthrust. Okay, so here again the concept of weight of an object also matters. If you put the metal object in the water, it will be heavier to lift up, but if you put a plastic mug in it, it will be much more easier to lift up. Okay, so what are the factors affecting this buoyant force? The magnitude of buoyant force acting on an object immersed in a liquid depends on, first is volume of object immersed in a liquid, and density of a liquid, that is how dense the liquid is. So we'll explain this one by one. First is a volume. As volume of solid object immersed inside the liquid increases, the upthrust or the buoyant force also increases. Means what? If you are putting a big stone in the water, what will happen? The buoyant force will be more, and because the weight is also more. When the solid is fully immersed, the buoyant force becomes maximum. It will try to just remove it from the liquid. The buoyant force depends only on the volume but not the nature of the solid objects. Whatever would be the nature. That is, if two balls of equal size but of different metals are immersed in the liquid, both of them experience same buoyant force. Okay, the liquids having higher density exert more buoyant force than the liquids having low density. Higher density liquid, I can say, is of oil, and low density liquid will be water. Okay, it is easier to swim in sea water than in lake because density of sea water is more when compared to that of lake water. Okay, even an iron block can float on mercury because of its high density. Is heavier the object, sorry, heavier the density of the water or the medium, the force will be also high. Okay, so here we have covered about the pressure, the thrust, the upthrust, and we have also seen the concept of buoyancy and the buoyant force and the factors affecting it. In the next video, we are going to see what is the Archimedes principle, and this is the very much important topic, or we can say very applicable topic which we see in our day-to-day life. Okay, thank you, children.